Let's bring in our MMA insider Ariel Helwani to SportsCenter. Ariel, how has the UFC's return been viewed by those within the sport?
Well, Tony, over the past 10 or so days, I've talked to a lot of fighters, I've talked to a lot of coaches, I've talked to managers, and the unanimous decision, pardon the pun, is that they're really happy with the way in which the UFC has done this. We have to remember that the fighters don't get paid if they don't fight, so they're really happy that there have been 3 cards. A lot of them are excited to get back to business, so to speak, but they feel like the testing has been done well. They feel like there were modifications. I mean, I talked to people who were there from the first card up until today, and they feel like modifications were done from week 1 to week 2. The UFC has learned how to do things better. They've really kind of found their groove here. So I know that some of the fighters had to sign non-disparagement agreements and all that stuff, but I've talked to some of them off the record. Shoot with me straight. How's it been? They're all saying that they're very happy with the way things have been going on in Jacksonville this past couple weeks.
Yeah, all the cards have lived up to the hype. Now, tonight we're going to see Walt Harris in action. Harris' story is so compelling, Ariel, and we'll learn more about that in our SC feature later here on SportsCenter. But as far as tonight's fight against Alistair Overeem, what is at stake for both fighters, beginning with Overeem?
Well, this is a fascinating matchup. I mean, Alistair Overeem, in case you don't know, is one of the all-time greats in the heavyweight division. The man has over 80 fights, MMA and kickboxing on his resume, and he's always a threat. Now, he was on a 2-fight winning streak, then loses to Jairzinho Rozenstruik in December with just seconds remaining. He'd won that fight if it would have gone the distance, and so he would have been on a 3-fight winning streak, and he was kind of turning back the clock in those 2 fights prior to the Jairzinho fight. He really looked good as of late, and so I'm curious to see if he gets back on track and sort of reasserts himself in the heavyweight division. Now, as far as Walt Harris is concerned, this is his first UFC main event. This is a big opportunity for him, and he's on his own 2-fight winning streak, and his last 2 fights have lasted a combined 62 seconds. He is on a roll right now. If he wins this fight, he is definitely a prospect to watch, a contender to watch in the heavyweight division. So this is a massive opportunity. If I'm being honest, this is a showcase fight for Walt. This is an opportunity for him to really get a big name on his record with a W next to it.
All right, and before we let you go, I want you to take a listen to what Justin Gaethje had to say to our Brad Okamoto about Conor McGregor.
I tweeted that, he's losing his clout. I don't mean in general with the general public, but with fighters, man, this guy, he's losing so much respect in the game, which he probably doesn't care. Mm-hmm. But, to someone like me, and I was, even him, I would assume that matters a little bit. So I could pick between Khabib and Conor right now. If I want to fight Conor, I can fight Conor. Mm-hmm. Believe me. Of course I could. Well, why wouldn't Dana want to put that together? But That's not the fight I want.
Ariel, as you talk to other fighters, what sense do you get that McGregor is, as Gaethje claims, losing respect?
I respect Justin Gaethje a lot, but I don't buy that for a second. Witness the fact that a month ago, Justin Gaethje was heavily campaigning to fight Conor McGregor. He was making it personal. He was talking about, how he is as a father. If he didn't want to fight him, if he didn't have any clout, why was he saying all that? Now he's won this interim title, and he has his ticket punched to fight Khabib. Of course he's going to say this because he holds all the cards. But then in a later portion of that interview, he says, I'll fight Conor after I beat Khabib. Well, if he has no clout, why do you want to fight him in your first or second title defense? Conor McGregor is still the biggest draw in the sport. He's still the #1 star. He's still the face of the UFC and MMA. Anyone who says otherwise is just kidding themselves.
And in case anyone forgot at home, McGregor hasn't fought since January 18th when he defeated Cowboy Cerrone in just 40 seconds. 40. All right, that is our Ariel Helwani with us here on SportsCenter.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.